eccentric floof of hair. I need a haircut is the issue du jour. I really need a haircut. But the good news is I've got a couple days off work. Yay. I likely won't be able to get a haircut within that time, but at least I'm thinking about it, so I'll probably make an appointment within like a month. But there was one thing there's 2 points of housekeeping. 2 points of housekeeping that we need to do. There's 3 points of housekeeping that we need to do. One is that we are shockingly close to 3,000 subscribers. What the fuck? That is, I never thought that I'd ever be saying that in my life, but, I guess we're at that point. So that begs the question, what do we do for 3,000 subscribers? In chatting with one of my channel members, Lonica Brandt, 5,000 is going to be where we do a soft-spoken ASMR video, which I guess is kind of like a diet voice reveal. I don't know if I'll ever do like a full voice reveal. I want to, but I just don't know how that would go. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, it'd be cool, but then also like, I make ASMR, so it doesn't really go with that, but my soft-spoken should be fine. So that is 5,000. That will be for 5,000 wonderful people here. But for 3,000, I am not sure. I was thinking, do I do another like multiple hour-long tapping video and then just like release it when we get, like, we cross that bridge when we get there? Or do I do some like big trigger word Tuesday thing? I haven't been doing my trigger word favorites, like my monthly favorites, for a good long while now, so that is a possibility. I've had somebody ask for a Q&A, and then I also had another person ask for another like tracing names video, which I am fully open to doing if there is like public outcry for that. But since I've just recently done one, I don't know if I'm like ready to hop right back into that, just in case people are like, hello, we want something new. So I could do an asking you questions video. I could do random facts about myself. I could read all of you bedtime stories. I could do inaudible. I could do unintelligible, like I did on Sunday, yesterday, from when I'm filming this at least. So there's a lot that we could get into. I am happy to do any of it. I'll do another book review. I'll do another music, like whispering about music. I'll do a video game video if we really want. Like, not playing one. I don't know how to do that yet. We are working on it though, for sure. I want to channel my inner Jubilee whispers and try some like little dwarf romantic or tiny glade or something like that. But in the meantime, just think, I have, like I said, I kind of have ideas of my own, but since 3,000 subscribers is kind of like all about everybody who views my videos, I kind of wanted to take input. I never want to freeze you all out of the process. also coming up. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. This channel is about to get a lot more queer. For the next month. I'm incredibly excited. I am such an idiot. I haven't gone to the fucking gay bar yet. Like I said I would to all of you. I know I promised. But like, time is just non-existent sometimes. It's Mother's Day. My mom's birthday is on Tuesday. Today, when you see this. So there's a lot going on in life at the moment. So, despite the fact that my mom would probably rather I go to the gay bar, than like go gift shopping and stuff like that for her. But, that is her being a beautiful, wonderful, and supportive lady. So, hopefully, knock on wood for me. But without further ado, we've got, of course, Pokemon trigger words. This was kind of by popular-ish request after the trigger words that I wanted to say video. After that video happened, a lot of people were like, hey, Jellicent, Sylveon, those were fun. Can we do more? So we're doing more. We're doing more Pokemon. This one might be broken up into smaller clips. It really depends. The lists are mercifully shorter. Like I said, the busyness is real. So please suffer me some shorter videos for the next couple of Trigger Word Tuesdays for the next couple of weeks. Like usual, this list is broken up into half of the trigger words, roughly, that were suggested this week, and then the other half next week, although probably a little bit more next week, just based on how I chopped everything up. But we have two new suggesters. First of all is Emma M74, and I'm gonna guess like Qing Tut, which is Qing, like the Qing dynasty, in China. So Qing Tut 6090. Oh dear, excuse me. So that is, those are our two new suggesters this week. And Emma M is actually up first. Emma M74, who suggested Mimikyu. You know what? Instead of hand movements, Sylveon is going to do some ear movements. Mimikyu. is that Griffin McElroy has that Nuzlocke series that he did in Pokemon X and Y, like, way long ago. And he's like, who are you? Flabébé. Flabébé. I can't really do it exactly like he does it, but anytime I say Flabébé, 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 there we go. Who are you? Flabébé. Flabébé. He like pronounces it in such an odd way. He's just got the perfect demeanor. Honestly, I could watch that man like cook rice. I swear to God, he's like one of the funniest people ever. Flabébé, Flabébé, but Flabébé is like the way to say it. Not Flabébé, but Flabébé just sounds much more like oh. Flabébé, 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 Flabébé was one of the first ever fairy types that you could catch in all of Pokemon. Eventually you could evolve yourself a Sylveon, but Flabébé was my first introduction to the fairy type. Flabébé, 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 Flabébé. There, Sylveon is watching over us. Flabébé, 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 Flabébé. Suggested Volcarona, which Eclectic also did happen to suggest Volcarona is part of one of my, well, no, not one of my, the proudest Pokemon experience playthrough that I've ever gone through. Volcarona, 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 Volcarona. So for context, in university, I was playing a lot of Pokemon Ultra Moon, and you can get a Larvesta in Ultra Moon in like a cave in the late game. And I've always wanted to raise a Volcarona. I had also always wanted to raise a Milotic, which, or I guess Milotic. I always say Milotic, because Milotic is gorgeous. Also, the trans colors kind of fit in there too. That's also why I like Sylveon. And I also wanted to raise a Tyranitar. There was a whole bunch of different Pokemon that I wanted to have on my team, and I did. Long story short, but that was the first shiny that I ever found was in that game. While I was looking for a Feebas, I found a shiny Morlul, which I raised into a shiny Shiinotic. And I used the Shiinotic for a really long time in that game. I used a Sudowoodo in that game. A Drifblim. Obviously, I chose Rowlet. So I had a Decidueye. Zone, which I've always liked, but I've never had. Did I say Typhlosion or Tyranitar? I meant Tyranitar. My Volcarona, and there was just, like, there was a lot of, I had a Sylveon in that game too. That playthrough of Ultramoon was like my favorite, like I said, my favorite Pokemon experience I've ever had. And Volcarona was a part of it, as well as Milotic, who I absolutely fucking love. Just because, like I said, Milotic is fierce. Volcarona. I also happen to like fairy typing, ice typing, and bug typing. I like the weird ones. Ice type and bug type especially. Like, in every game that I'm able to, I raise a Snom and a Frostmoth. One, because Frostmoth is like the only redeeming factor about Sword and Shield. Don't come after me. It's my opinion. You can like Sword and Shield if you want. I mostly respect that. JK. And then I've always wanted to raise a Scolipede. I feel like that would be fun, and I feel like that's a bug type that's really good. But I've just never, like, I don't know, in Black, White, and Black 2, in Black 2, I didn't, and then did I have Pokemon White? Yeah, I think I had Pokemon White first. Or maybe I think I had Black for both of them. Anyway, no, I had Pokemon White, sorry. But, long story short, I like bug typing, and bug typing fucking sucks, but whatever. Same thing with ice. But I raise what I like, because that's the fun of it. But, now that we've talked about Volcarona for 7 hours, Ippy Cakes, other suggestions. First one is Salazzle. Which just sounds kind of goofy now that I'm repeating it over and over. Salazzle. Salazzle, oh my god, my hair, I swear to god, it's awful. Salazzle, I might go shower here after I finish Hippie Cake's words. Salazzle, I need to start checking these off again. You can kind of hear the train in the background. Another of Ippy Cake's suggestions is Rayquaza. I don't care if you say Rayquaza. I say Rayquaza. It's funny. I am normally such a stickler for pronunciation, but when it comes to Pokemon, I'm taking none of it. It's my way or the highway. Rayquaza, 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 Rayquaza. This is definitely going to be the episode of completely losing the meaning of the word, because technically these are all gibberish. Rayquaza, Rayquaza, Rayquaza. Like, I know they're not, but it's just funny. Like, I just start losing them. Like, Rayquaza, Rayquaza, Rayquaza. It doesn't sound like anything right now. Same thing with Salazzle, Salazzle, Salazzle. It's just like it loses all meaning. I think simply because it's not a word that we have in English. I mean, you get what I'm saying. It kind of is because it's within the cultural context, but like it's gibberish in that it has no meaning beyond the video game. Rayquaza, 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 Rayquaza. There's this shop in a mall kind of nearby, which is, I mean, I guess like still 40 minutes or so, but there is like a shop where they have these really high quality Pokemon plushes. That's where I've gotten the giant Sylveon that's like right behind me. That's kind of impossible. Yeah, it's impossible to see. It's blocked by 1,000 things. But they have like this really long Rayquaza that I would really kind of like, because Emerald was my first ever Pokemon game when I was a really young kid, and Pearl was kind of like the first game that I ever actually like played knowing what was going on, if you know what I mean. That's why I always say that Pearl is my first game, even though theoretically, technically Emerald was my first. But next suggestion from Eevee Cake is Totodile, Totodile, over in the Middle East as I'm like filming this, so Al Jazeera updates me, and it's like the middle of the night sometimes. Cyndaquil, 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 not Cyndaquil, 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 Now that I'm looking at it, starters are very popular. Like, I know that's just a general rule, but like there's a lot of starters on this list, or starter adjacent. I think there are a couple next week too. Cyndaquil being one of them. Next up, we have two suggestions from Meg R.O., who is mother. Correct me if I'm wrong, your first Mother's Day, which is like, good for you. Wonderful, amazing. I'm very happy for you. Happy Mother's Day. But Meg R.O. suggested Quilava. Quilava, 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 Zed doesn't live up to some sort of trigger potential. It's not like X, which is such like a, like, I can't think of, like, Xeriscape or Axolotl. Like, there's so much, like, potential with an X, and it's rare, but there's kind of, I don't know, Zed needs to up its game. Charizard is making me realize that. Charizard, 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 and incidentally, Barbie Hannibal also suggested Charmander. So we have Cyndaquil, Quilava, Charizard, Charmander, with same evolutionary lines. I know it's not like the one and then the two, but whatever. Charmander, 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 Charmander. Does anybody say Charmander? I hope not. It doesn't. It does not sound right in the slightest. Charmander, 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 Charmander. Sounds like I'm saying Jarmander. Charmander, Charmander. I guess ch and ch are very similar sounds. Charmander, 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 Charmander. My eyes are getting heavy. Charmander, 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 Charmander. I think after Charmander we're gonna do more after Charmander. First being from Miss Starlin, who, of course, we are sending all of our wonderful positive thoughts to. I am hoping that you are doing, if not well, that you are doing alright, that you are getting through. Again, as cold comfort as it is, I highly value you, so just keep that in mind. There's someone here rooting for you. Starlin, you suggested the word Eevee. Eevee, oddly, actually, no, I'm joking. Eevee, who, if you could not tell, is something of an obsession of mine. Before Sylveon came along, Eevee was my favorite. Eevee, 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 Eevee. Just something about it. I don't know. Just really like has to be my favorite. And then after Eevee, then Glaceon was my favorite. Until, of course, Sylveon came to the scene. Eevee, was like my original favorite when I was a kid. Eevee and Chimchar. Both were very, 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 very early favorites of mine. Eevee and Chimchar. Eevee. Eevee oddly. That's all I can think of now. Eevee. This one's interesting. It's very breathy. Eevee. The V really hits off the tooth. Eevee, which just like kind of provides a little bit of a breath sound, which is interesting. Eevee. Last one that we're going to do for this clip, at least, is from Lunamoth, and it's Bellsprout. Lunamoth suggested Bellsprout. Now, I am indifferent to Bellsprout. I think that Bellsprout is adorable. Bellsprout. But what I'm really here for is Victorybell and the fucking like gay scream it does whenever James chunks it out of the Pokeball, and it comes out. It's got those like little arms out to the side, and it's like it's fucking camp. Victorybell. That is like it's perfect. Bellsprout. That's actually, it reminds me, I never watched the Sun and Moon version of the anime. Really, I only watched the like Emerald, like the Ruby and Sapphire and the Diamond and Pearl, and a little bit of Black and White before I fell off. But the Sun and Moon, I don't even know. I think it's in Sun and Moon, because Guzzlord is from Sun and Moon. Also, the fact that there is not a Pokemon, an Ultra Beast named Guzzlord. But like that fucking thing, it's got its like weird little crab things out of its giant stomach mouth, and it's like, yeah. it's perfect. Like, oh my god, I die every time I see clips of it. Sometimes I will search up, it's like that Regirock sound effect from the Lucario movie. Just like the like, I don't even, like, I can't even scream like that when I'm whispering, but it's like that. It's just so fucking funny. I love it. Same thing with Victorybell and the kind of gay scream. So Bellsprout